WranglerFix.com definitely fixed my my Wrangler. Hey guys, it's Brian from Frostbite Off-Road. We're back in the garage with Project LJ. Today we are going to be replacing something major on it. Let's go ahead and take a look. So today's project is going to be replace our PCM, also known as the powertrain control module. If you guys have an 05 or 06 LJ or TJ, this is a problem that a lot of them have with the factory PCM. So Jeep went ahead and changed it on the 05, 06 years, and not for the better. They didn't last as long and they have some funny electrical issues. So I reached out to Mark at WranglerFix.com and he sent this over. I ran by all my questions with him and he said, yeah, your PCM is definitely the problem. So what we're experiencing is a weird shift from first to second when we first start up the Jeep and take off. It's pretty rough. It'll hang RPMs in first and then slam into second. Another thing it's been doing is idling rough. So we recently went and did a 1,000-mile trip on the Idaho BDR and I did everything I could to try to fix my rough idle. I did full tune-up, I replaced a bunch of sensors, I did the OPDA, that's the oil pump drive assembly, I did the crank position sensor, throttle position sensor, all with factory parts. I even got a new coil pack and did new spark plugs and that didn't fix the issue. So reached out to Mark, ran all this by him. He was great. He got back to me at like 5 a.m. their time, which was pretty cool. He said I needed one of these. So I went ahead and picked this up. We're gonna swap this out in the Jeep and see if it helps. Here's our factory PCM. It's gonna be located on the passenger side up by the firewall near the battery here. So we're gonna go ahead and start by disconnecting the negative terminal on our battery, and then we're gonna start unhooking these connections. One thing I've noticed with my Jeep is some of the stuff is quite brittle due to heat. It was from Southern California, so I'm sure it got hot quite a bit. So a lot of these wiring harnesses are pretty fragile, so you wanna be careful, especially these little tabs and stuff. When you're taking them off, sometimes they can just kind of fall apart. So you want to make sure that you take these all off in the right order. It's going to be kind of hard to screw it up, but just want to make a note. We're going to unbolt this from the firewall, slap in our new WranglerFix.com one, and get it all plugged up and hopefully fix all those weird symptoms we're having. And you can tell this is a factory one by the fins in the back here. Almost all the aftermarket ones don't have these fins unless it's a rebuilt factory unit. But what happens with these is they get dust in there, they get hot. Looks like my seals might be leaking there as well. So they get hot and then all the electronics inside start to fail over time. This is an almost 20-year-old Jeep, so some of this stuff is expected. So what we're gonna do, take this guy off, throw in the new Wrangler Fix one, and that should fix our Wrangler. All right, negatives off. Let's go ahead and start disconnecting these connectors. Like I said, we're gonna wanna be real careful with these. So that one came off pretty easy. Let's go ahead and get these other three off, and then we can go ahead and unmount this from the firewall. So we went ahead and pulled these guys off of the PCM. You want to be careful, just slide these red tabs back, push them, and pull them out. What's nice is the factory did go ahead and color code them, which is pretty cool, so you know which ones go where. The new one is not color coded, so you just want to make sure you get them back in the right positions for you. If you need a reference, you just look at the factory one, you'll know. Orange, white, green. All right, so now that these are unhooked, I didn't have any trouble with anything breaking, which was nice. We're gonna go ahead and unmount these. Looks like it takes a little Torx bit. That looks like it might be a T25. Let's go ahead and we'll get this unmounted. All right, we're gonna take our T25 Torx bit. We're gonna go ahead and loosen up the bolts holding it to the firewall. So it's gonna be this guy here. You can kind of see where it mounts back there. Got this one here and then on the other side, and then this should come right off. So let's go ahead, we'll loosen up these guys and get this pulled off of the firewall. Okay, so there's three of these bolts holding them on. Got the two here and then the one over here on this side, that lower larger one there. So we're gonna go ahead, we got these all loose. We're gonna pull these out, they're kind of longer. This is fairly heavy, so you wanna go ahead and support it when you unplug it here and then pull it out away from the firewall. And just like that, the factory PCM is out. Like I said, you can tell it's the factory one by the fins they have on the back here, but it's only those three bolts. That's gonna be the factory part number in case you need it. I'm gonna go ahead and clean this up a little bit. We're gonna mount up our new Wrangler Fix PCM and get it all plugged in and then fire up the Jeep. Good idea to get them started by hand and then snug them up. So that's what she looks like in there. Let's go ahead and get these plugged back in. So just like the factory one, we are gonna go black, orange, white, green. And then you do want to make sure you get these all the way seated. I have seen videos where people are having a bunch of issues with their Jeep, and it was because these were not seated all the way. So just like that one popped in a little bit farther. So you want to make sure they're all seated, and go ahead and lock the red tab. We'll hook the battery back up, and then we'll fire her up and see how she's running. So another weird symptom people get with this, besides the rough shift from first to second on startup, and then the rough idle, is people will get weird check engine codes for oxygen sensors that they've already replaced. So if you're having trouble with that as well, that could be the PCM as well. This is a real nice unit. We got it all in there. Let's go ahead and throw the negative back on, and we'll fire her up and see how she's running. It is going to take it a minute or two to learn the new PCM and kind of settle down on idle, but after it gets all relearned, it should be great. All right, she's all snugged up. Let's go ahead and fire her up. So she fired right up. Don't hear any weird noises. Let's go ahead and check the idle real quick. Looks like it's idling pretty good. I don't have a check engine light, which is good. I imagine it's going to take a little bit to relearn once you start driving, especially the TCM for the transmission and things like that. But that was a nice, easy install. I don't have any check engine lights or anything on the dash, which is good. And I'm not getting nearly the amount of rattling, if any, out of the dash like I was getting before. So that's great. It actually sounds really good. So what I'd get before is I would get about block down the road and it wouldn't shift into second. It would hang out around 2,000 RPMs. Oh, and we shifted already. Wow, that's already a lot better. So I think this completely fixed that weird shifting I was getting. That's awesome. One added thing I do note is the turn signal used to miss. When I first initiate the turn signal, it would miss a click or two noise-wise. It would go click, 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 and then stop for a second, and then click again. It seems like that has gone away too. And these shifts are much smoother. And I don't have any of that rough idle noise coming from the dash. Wow, this is pretty nice, guys. So we're gonna go ahead and drive the Jeep for a little bit, let it relearn kind of our driving style and the shift patterns and whatnot. But as of right now, WranglerFix.com definitely fixed my my Wrangler, my LJ here, guys. So this is pretty cool. It is kind of more expensive mod, but you know, they do it right, and doing it right sometimes is worth it. So definitely big shout out to Mark for answering all my questions and getting this out to me really quick. It shipped like the next day after I ordered it, so that was awesome too. They also do TJ Wrangler forum discounts. If you email them and ask, they can give you a discount code, so that's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and drive this back home and we'll wrap this up. Okay guys, that's going to do it for swapping out our PCM and our 06 LJ here today. If you guys need a new PCM, go ahead and hit up Mark. Like I said, he's great about getting back to people. I'll put all his info down below. Guys, if this helped you out at all, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. It's free to subscribe and it definitely helps the channel out. Share it with a buddy that might need a new PCM, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks guys.